Welcome, Wargamers, to another Orks Tactica. Here we have a Blitza Bomber. Now, Blitza Bombers are pretty cool. I love the idea of them. This is the first plane I built. I built as a Blitza Bomber because it has some pretty decent anti-tank tactics. That's what it's primarily meant for. It has a super shooter. It has a big shooter off the back so you can shoot backwards, which is kind of neat. That's really only when you fly over everything, drop a bomb, and then there's nothing else to shoot in front of you because you have to shoot at all the same target still. And so it can shoot backwards, it can still do something. Okay, so that's not too bad. So you can shoot backwards, hey, good enough, good enough. But that's also cool because you can fly past the flyer and then shoot back at the flyer after dropping a bomb on the tank beside the flyer. Get back armor. Doesn't really make a difference a lot of time. But at any rate, Blitza Bombers are cool because they're flying around, they're like, when they see a tank and they're like, they stop midair. No, they actually don't, but they go, and then Mr. Tank comes along. Let's just use Mr. Battlewagon for this instance. So it's like Mr. Battlewagon's like, driving, and then the Blitza Bomber goes, like directly down on it and then pulls out and hopefully has dropped his bomb correctly. Most of the time, he just crashes. No, actually, there's a chart. You roll on it. So there's a small chance that you just go, boom. Because the orcs are like, nah! And they forget to pull up or they realize too late. And they're like, detach the bomb. And they're like, now what do we, oh yeah, we need the, so, you know, it happens. And it used to be a lot better. When the original rules, it was a strength 9 hit. Against like it hit really hard, but now you just count it as a wreck. And so you just send it the template and just treat it as a wrecked plane, as normal. Very sad. But how you drop the bomb is actually slightly different because it's in the middle of your movement. It's in the movement phase. And so all bombs work like this. So you move. Actually, most bombs work, you move past and then you drop the bomb. The Blitza Bomber, you move up to 1 inch of it, and then you roll to see if you do a successful bombing run, and then you could possibly crash there, and then you continue moving. And so there's a small chance that you crash. There's another chance, slightly bigger chance, that you instead forget to drop the bomb because you're getting too close and too fast. And so same thing happens, but you clip the opposing tank. And so this will most likely kill you, but there's a small chance you do survive. But it also has a really, last cannon strength shot hit against the opposing tank. And so, thumbs up there, that's great. And then, there's the pretty big chance, and most likely chance that you just drop your bomb. So very simply, whatever unit you stopped in front of, whether it be a tank, a vehicle, or a normal unit, you can drop it on a normal unit as well. You have a small template, a small blast template. So you send it over any model, or any part of the model that you want. So you have some leeway there. If there's a big Congo line of guys, you can just be like, place it over there. It's kind of weird, but that's the way it is. So most likely it's going to be a tank, and this is why. It's only the strength of a Luda. So you're thinking, okay, what can a Luda kill? Not that much, not those big tanks. They can kill a lot, and they can glance a lot, and glancing to death is actually a lot easier now than before, but the great thing about the bomb from the Blitza Bomb, the big bomb, is that it has 2d6 armor pen. 2d6 armor pen is fantastic. Now that's on average dice, you're hitting armor 14. And so at armor 14, you're glancing Battlewagon. And again, a glancing hit on a Battlewagon isn't as good anymore. Not Battlewagon, but because you hit side armor, because of the bomb. Land Raider. But now here's the good and the bad. Now, when it first came out in 5th edition, they were fully released, it was great. Because if you get a penetrating hit on something, which is pretty good chance when you have, strength 7, 2d6 pen, then it's a 1/3 chance the tank's dead. 1/3 chance, 5 or 6, boom, they're gone. Now you get a penetrating hit, take it a hull point, and then you're not gonna do as much damage, because on a 5 you're immobilized. Immobilized is still good, but it's not near as good as the wrecked it was before. And so one penetrating hit is not as good as it used to be without any AP on it. And so it was great to begin with, but then with new 6th edition, with everything, better because any part of the template hitting will cause that, and you roll 2d6. So if you can possibly get a couple vehicles together, a lot of people get smart though, they don't clump up very much. But if it's a rare case they are clumped together, then you can hit both. Or there's guys right beside the vehicle, then you can hit right beside on the vehicle, because it does still scatter. Only 1d6. So 1d6 still good. Put it on a center of a vehicle, impossible to miss, like a bigger vehicle, most vehicles. But it's only AP4. And so you're not gonna do a lot to infantry, unless it is those, 4+ infantry or whatever. Anyone else, it's just not really worth it. But at any rate, you can still shoot your Dakajet and everything after you drop that bomb. And so you have some leeway. All right, so here we're saying, let's say we're playing Orks versus Orks. And Mr. Dakajet our Blitza Bomber comes running up. You stop an inch away from the hull. You place the template on the vehicle. You roll your scatter, direct hit in this case. So it'll hit a boy and the battle wagon. And so since it's in the blast against the battle wagon, strength 7, 2d6 armor pen, that's a penetrating hit. And strength 7 on the boy, that's not a wound, but normally it would. And then you roll for damage on the battle wagon. You guys know all this. Only a 2, so there's no plus, there's only shaken. And so as you can see, it's easy. So at least it's 1 down, 1 hull point. But again, unless you roll a 6 on this one, even a 5 or a 4, it's not as great. Now, at first, it seemed like us Orcs, and then of course, after you drop the bomb, then you continue your movement, up to your maximum movement, whenever you want. But again, it looked like Orcs, we had a ranged armor pen thing, and so that was great. It was like, finally, we don't have to fully rely on power claws and death rollers anymore. But unfortunately, we're short-lived with the new edition. And so, although they're lots of fun and hilarious, they have 2 bombs. They can drop 2 bombs per game. That's the only bomb they have, and then just a regular Dakajet. Now, you might possibly want to give this guy a red paint job, and this is why. You can move 36 inches. So, in a turn with a plane. If you move, unless you move flat out, of course. So if you move 36 inches twice, you will be exactly touching the other board edge if it's the long board edge. So if it's not the long board edge, you don't need to worry about red paint job at all. And so this is why it's really situational. So unless you're playing custom campaign or wherever you know for sure, you can leave it off. But with red paint job, first turn, you can fly up, and instead of moving all out, you can shoot your Daka gun or your super shooter and cause some damage. And then next turn, you can fly over somebody, drop a bomb, and then fly off the board edge, assuming that you didn't crash and kill everything. I would love to crash, but in case it doesn't happen, then you just keep on flying. Okay, then you get that extra inch for free, you can get off the board, right? Of course, you can always go sideways, but that's assuming that they're in the top center of the board. And so, if you don't have red paint job, still try to do this. You move forward once. If you can't bomb someone, set up for a bombing run next turn, and make sure you can turn around. And then, so for the third turn then, so your second turn, you bomb, fly off, and then third turn, you come back on. All right, and so you're useful when you fly off. And third turn, you come back on 36 inches, most likely the thing, you can drop your second bomb. Okay, I think that's the most effective way to use them. I could be wrong, we'll see. But lots of potential there. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.